All right, back in house with Coach Peavy, and Coach, me and you were just having an awesome conversation about Duck Club off camera, but they got some special stuff going on. Coach Skylar Ray, that's formerly here, and your son, and you're going on a trip with them to the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah,
that's going to be awesome. Let's start with that right there. I mean, that's got to be. You got to be jazzed up for that one. I mean, New York at Christmas time obviously is fun, but then you get to go out there and do a podcast from the Statue of Liberty. Let's start right there.
It's going to be, Skylar's got big plans, and he follows through with all of them. And so we're gonna duck hunt the East Coast, and then.
Are y'all making your way up the coast in different spots?
I think we're going to drive straight to Massachusetts and then work our way down.
Okay.
And so kind of on the way down, we're going to do a cast with, hopefully we have a boat full of ducks and do a podcast from there. So.
Dude, that would be awesome. And then, yeah, because, I mean, if you drive up to Massachusetts and work your way down, that's like the Colonial area. You're going to see some unbelievable areas through there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, that's where my family's from. So we're all my people are from there. So it'll be exciting. It'll be fun. Skylar and the TC Duck Club, and they got a lot of big things going on. Every weekend they're traveling around and giving out gear at college game days.
I was going to say, they're like freaking SEC Nation now.
There's a bunch of signs, out at those at college game day last week at Alabama stuff, and they're doing it big.
No, that's huge, man. Especially for somebody from like local here, and then he's tied in with several artists like former people on American Idol, and then Riley Green and others. I mean, that's awesome. But we're here to talk about some football, Coach. Let's dive into it. Last week you took on a program, with Phil Phillips, and that's second all time in the state of Alabama in wins, and you guys fought your tails off, come up a little bit short. Just take us back to last week in that Aniana game, Coach.
Yeah, like you said, it's a tough place to play. When you walk out of their field house, they got all their region championships and state championships and state finals and all those things on that, and they'll let you know how good that program is. And Coach Phillips does a great job, and he always has. I've been going to camp there or coaching against him for a long time, and that's a tough place to play, and it's a beautiful place. And our kids, we played hard. We gave up some stuff early, and then came back and fought, and had some opportunities, dropped a few passes that were really critical, but our kids continue to play hard, and I can't help but be proud of them. We keep trying to do things right and work hard and continue to lift hard every day, and so I keep telling them that's the only thing we know how to do is just keep our head down and work, and it's that whole thing that tough times don't last and tough people do, and so we're just gonna keep fighting, and for the senior class to enjoy some success and that we can celebrate together. But we're learning some valuable lessons. They're hard lessons to learn, but we really are, and our kids are getting better week in and week out. So I can't help but be proud of them.
That's how life is, man. The guys will realize that once they get out of here that's life, man. It ain't always sunshine and rainbows.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Everybody goes through some tough times, and it's kind of how you react to them, and we're in that situation, and we said that after the game, and we came back to practice on Monday and worked really, really hard, and worked hard every day this week. So our kids are responding the right way. You just for their sake, I just hope that we enjoy some success at some point that we can celebrate together.
You hit on something else that's really cool, man. Their backdrop up there in Aniana's phenomenal.
It is.
And they redid the turf and all that there, but like behind you, like with the woods and like the mountains in the forefront, man, we got some really cool spots, to watch some high school games, and that place right there is one of the top backdrops, I think.
I asked Coach Phillips before the game, I was like, before we were headed their way, I didn't know if they had put up a visitor side press box or not, and he said, no, you'll be on the home side press box. It's the best view in the state.
Hey,
he's probably right.
He's pretty. It's got an argument.
Yeah, he does.
Another one that's local that I really like is Collinsville.
Yeah, I was going to say Collinsville. We played there this summer. It is really nice.
It's
Madison
really
County's
cool.
really nice too.
That one's really cool. Yeah, you're right about that. Coach, this week you're taking on Coach Jackson, and it seems like he had some down times when he first got to Anniston, but it seems like he's kind of turned the corner. And they're rolling right now, undefeated. When you watch film of them, I've got to see them play live one time, but they look like they're the real deal this year. What have you seen from them on film?
Yeah, they're the real deal. I just got off the phone with him. He's a super good guy, well-coached team. like you said, he had to, even the beginning of this year, the last few years, he's had to have some discipline issues that he's corrected, and Anderson's always had great players. I've been playing Anderson since 1995, and they've always had great players. And but he's corrected that, and even the beginning of this year, I think in their scrimmage he had 11 kids suspended, and then the first game of the year he had 6, and now he doesn't have any, and they're playing really, really well. And they got a lot of guys that play with high motors, play with great effort. Defensively, they fly around, and offensively, they're the state 100-meter 4x1 champions, and you can see it.
For a reason.
They got some guys that can fly, and it all goes through a quarterback. He's so elusive, and then he's really hard to bring down. If you watch the films, he's just the first guy doesn't ever tackle him. They run into him, but they don't tackle him, and his yards after contact is a lot. Yeah. And he's a really good player, and they had a player that was injured, and that is back playing number 4 that can fly too.
He did get injured.
He did.
He's back now?
Yeah, he got injured in the summer, and then he's back, and he's a special kid too. And they got a couple kids in the backfield that can really run, and of course on the edge, the speed on the edges. They got a outside pass rusher that he blocked a punt last week that nobody even saw him. Never mind get their hands on him. So they got some real speed, real talent, and they're playing like old school Anniston with a bunch of confidence and a bunch of energy, and they'll push you around if you let them. And so we that's going to be the goal is to not let somebody come in here and push us around and out physical us.
They got some 300-pounders up front too, and a couple good. Talk about their line a little bit and what you've seen from their line.
Got big tackles that are violent with their hands. When they take a big hard inside step and just steer those defensive ends wherever they want to, and the thing about it is they're nasty with it too. Is if they can ride you upfield, they're gonna ride you upfield and continue to run you till you hit the dirt, and they're nasty with it. So we got a big challenge for sure because. With the physical nature that they're playing with and that speed, they're very dangerous. Yeah. And and they're just like any other team in this region. There's some really, really good football teams, and their quarterback. That's what I told their Coach Jackson a little while ago. I was like, your quarterback's fantastic, but man, it's a region full of really, really good quarterbacks. The Asheville kid special and his kid special, and the Oaks Bluff kid special and the Alexandria kid special. Like, there's some really, really good quarterbacks. And Coach Phillips' son he's a great player. Yeah. So there's some really good quarterbacks in the region, and he's one of them. He does it a little different. He does it like the kid from Oaks Bluff. He can do it with his legs too.
This region in general, I don't know, man. To me, a couple years ago, you could say, hey, man, there's a clear-cut 1 or 2 or something like that. Cherokee was real dominant. But now, I don't think Cherokee's fell off. I think a lot of other teams has gotten better. It's crazy, like what this region looks. Asheville. Look at what Asheville's sitting there. What they're 4-1 now, and
5-1.
5-1. And you're sitting here, and the last couple of years they've fallen on hard times. You're like, the region, man, is better as a whole, in my opinion. I think across the board.
I do too. And a lot of teams are senior heavy, and I think Anderson has 22, and. And some of those elite players are seniors. Yeah. So, maybe it won't be that way in this next few years going forward, but it is right now, and it makes it hard. And just, it's evident every Friday night when the fact that Aniana should have beat Cherokee kind of had a chance, had to beat late. And then, of course, Cherokee's who they are, and they come back. But White Plains had a chance to beat them 22-16, and Anderson, Alexandria was 20-18, it's good football, and there's a lot of really good, hard-nosed, tough kids and tough programs.
Oaks Bluff beats White Plains at the very end of the game.
Yeah, 35-28 or something like that. Yeah,
you're sitting there and you're like, everybody's. I don't know, dude. It's one of the most. They're like top to bottom is the gap, the margins like super small in my opinion.
It is, and to top it off, they're all well coached. Yeah. They're good football programs that good players and traditions, and they're all well coached. So, it's a grind.
No,
sure.
there ain't no doubt
It's a
about
grind.
it. It is. Well, Coach, before I shut it down, I always like to kick it back to you for final thoughts, and then we'll shut it down because it's game day, and I know you don't want to talk to me all day.
No, it's just the same thing we've been doing. We're just our kids continue to work hard and make people around us proud, and and I think we take small steps every day and every week of getting better and turning things back around. But I'd love to see a big crowd tonight and supporting our kids.
Coach, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.